So, Lisa, we're here right now with your mother, Rosemary, and your dad, Loyal. And you have them living in your home with you. How does that feel?
It's actually a wonderful gift. That's the way we look at it. Mother is very happy here. They've lived with us a couple years. And Dad, are you happy here, Daddy?
Very much so. It's a very loving, caring group for each other.
So we have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot.
That's beautiful. So, Rosemary, how do you feel about living with your daughter and your granddaughter and your great-grandchildren?
Oh, I love it. Love it all. If we can get together sometimes.
It's very rare to get to do that.
Yeah.
And the way the country is spread all over. So we were fortunate all to get together.
That's great. And what do you like about it most?
Well, for having that, we can play it along with the rest of our stuff.
We can play the piano.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff.
Hey, and Lisa, what do you like about it most?
Having my parents close and letting my grandchildren, my daughter, and my son Eric get to know their grandparents even better, and my great-grandchildren. I think it's a wonderful experience.
Well, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And we used to live like this when we were all living in the country, and then around the turn of the century during the Industrial Revolution, everybody moved to big cities and families didn't live like this anymore. So this is a beautiful example of what it used to be like. And what do you like most about living with your daughter and your granddaughter and your great-grandchildren?
We have been so far away, originally in Illinois and then in New Mexico. We didn't get to see each other too often. And the chance came up that we needed really better personal care because we were getting older and failing, but not all the way. And we just hit it all up together, taking care of each other and looking for a better future. That's what I want to have for them.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to me, Rosemary and Lloyd. And we will now go talk upstairs with Lisa and her husband to see what it's like to preside over such a multi-generational home. So we're sitting with Lisa and Mark right now, and they preside over this multi-generational household. So I have a couple of very discrete questions that I want to ask you. This is something that I understand fills your heart with love, but people that will be seeing this video will legitimately want to know if they're going to go down this path, what are some of the challenges and what do they need to be prepared for if they decide to bring everybody into one home to contribute to everybody's well-being, both financially, physically, and medically?
I think medically is very important for parents that are aging in place. You do need a very good care provider, and home care is our priority. And I'm very fortunate to have my daughter Kristen be our major care provider, and she's wonderful. She really gets mom and dad to all their doctor's appointments, picks up their prescriptions. She's fantastic with them, and she has a lot of patience. And it does take patience. It truly does when you have 4 generations living in one home. So medically, you do have to be prepared. I think something very tiny, too, to remember is diet and food, and the kind of food that the older people might like versus the things that our younger grandchildren like, and trying to make a good diet and a good menu plan and healthy eating for the entire family so that everybody's covered from a nutrition standpoint.
And what about the family dynamics? Have they changed dramatically now that you have a multitude of people living with you as a couple?
I would say to a degree, yes, because everything is a lot more involved. So many different facets of everyday life between all 4 generations. There's a lot. I believe it takes a higher level of commitment to everything. between time and relationships and everything else. It's there have been times, I mean, honestly, it's been a little bit of a strain. We have to plan times that we can just get away and bond again a little bit more, and that's been a little bit of a challenge here and there, but overall it's rewarding. It's fun having the kids. We have a great time. I mean, we play computer games and Wii and all that kind of stuff. We have a great time, and everybody just kind of pitches in and helps with her folks, and it all works.
That's great. What about the long-lasting effect or impact on the children? Do you think that it will give them a sense of family and togetherness, or do you think that something else will result from the experience they're having growing up, which, quite frankly, is very different than probably their schoolmates?
I'm hoping that the outcome in the future is very positive for all four of them. We're pretty young grandparents. We're in our 50s, but we do pretty much everything with the grandchildren that we did with the kids. So we're very active, very busy. We ride bikes. We do there's nothing that we really don't do. So I think that the kids are seeing a couple things. One, they're seeing young grandparents very active and vital in their life, and they're seeing great grandparents who actually participate, part of a home environment. My dad is like the ecology king, always has been, even growing up, and he loves to recycle and takes care of all the trash, and he's very, very responsible. And the children are seeing that older people can be extremely useful and very giving and very kind. And that's why I think it will change maybe their perception of what older people are like. You know?
What about being able to keep your parents together? I would assume that they've been married for quite some time.
60 years.
Is that a challenge?
In the future?
Yes.
It might be. Mother does have Alzheimer's, and at some point we might need to find a facility for her, a home environment that is very safe and loving for her as she progressively gets into that diagnosis. And we'll keep Daddy with us just as long as we can. So at some point they may end up being in different environments. That's really not what I want. I'm not sure exactly what is down the long road, but they love each other, and if for some reason they do get separated or in a different facility, I will make sure that they spend as much time together as they can.
Okay, well, and that might be a challenge, but
Yeah.
you will probably be able to find a way to keep them together. There's so much available right now to help people and couples such as your parents safely age in place. So is there anything else that you'd like to add to this? It's just a fascinating subject.
I can't think of anything really. Lisa's really the glue that keeps everything together around here.
Have you found that it has been, from an economic standpoint, something that has benefited your family? Because historically, a lot of families lived together in the past for a multitude of reasons, but one very salient reason historically has been to pool resources. Has that been something that you've been able to experience, pooling of resources?
We do pool resources, but it is not a financial advantage to us, not necessarily. Thank goodness Mother and Dad have Social Security and a retirement, but they have expenses also, and between Medicare and secondary insurance and Part D and all the changes that are maybe forthcoming, their money is spent on themselves and their health care mostly. So it's not really an advantage necessarily. Just
Well, and I can
emotionally it is.
I can imagine what those food bills are like in this house.
Yes, and older people are cold a lot, so we have the heat on most of the time to keep them warm. And we are very safety conscious. We even have plugs in the walls for things like that. We watch them, make sure that rugs are not slippery. We just have a real good attitude about taking care of them and keeping them happy and safe. The children are excellent at that.
Well, I can't wait to talk to them next. And I have to tell you, this is a lovely, warm home, and everybody is just so beautifully behaved. I don't know how you manage this, but I'm so glad that you're sharing your story with people who will be watching this. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. It truly is. It's been quite an experience and very rewarding.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, I'm here with this beautiful group of children or young adults. What is your name?
Robbie,
Robbie, how old are you?
14.
Robbie, what is it like to live in this home with all the different generations?
It's crazy at times, but everyone works through it.
And what do you think you'll take out of this when you're an adult?
How to take care of people and everyone.
Okay. And do you think that if the need arose, you've learned from this experience how to take care of your parents if they needed to depend on you when you're older?
Yes.
Well, that's very lovely. And now you know how to treat older people, right? Great. And what's your name?
Mariah,
Mariah, how old are you?
9,
9. What grade are you in?
3rd.
3rd grade? What is it like living with all of these people? And you're the youngest one in the house, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you like living with all of these people?
Yes.
Yeah? What is the most special thing about it?
Everybody cares about each other when we're here.
That's great. And do you like how your grandmother plays the piano?
Yes.
I love it. It's wonderful background music. What have you learned from living with your grandparents and your great-grandparents?
With my grandma, I would learn how to play the piano.
Oh, she teaches you how to play the piano? That's great. Well, thanks for talking to me, Mariah. And what is your name?
David,
David, how old are you?
11.
11. So you're in 6th grade? David, what do you take from living with your sisters and brother and mother and grandparents and great-grandparents? What do you take out of this?
It's kind of crazy at times, my brother said, but at one time we can all have a good time, have fun. Like my grandpa said, we get to play the computer, we get to play the Wii. Sometimes we go outside and play.
And what do you think about older adults now?
They're fun. Like my grandpa, he gets to, my great grandpa, he shows us all of his trains. At Christmas, we set it up and just watch the train go around the Christmas tree.
That's great. Do you help take care of them sometimes?
Yeah.
And what do you do to help take care of them?
Set the table, get all the silverware, make them food. If they don't like something, I'll take it off. If it's too hot or cold, I'll try to cool it down or warm it up.
So how much can I pay you to teach my son how to be like that?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I need you to sit back for 1 second. And what is your name?
Alyssa,
Alyssa, how old are you?
13.
13 years old. What a beautiful girl. So what is it like for you living in this house?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Define crazy for me.
There's too many people.
Too many in a good way or sometimes in a bad way?
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you like about it?
That I get to see my great-grandparents every day.
Yeah, when I came in, I saw you sitting at the piano with your great-grandmother. Do you do that often?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. And do you help take care of your great-grandparents?
Yes.
You look like you're going to cry. Something touching you about this?
Yes.
What is that? You don't have to talk to me about it. But are you feeling filled with joy? And that's what's coming out? Yeah? Okay. Well, I love happy tears, and I think that is the most beautiful thing to see somebody your age feeling tears of joy about such a beautiful home. You're all very lucky. You have a beautiful home and a beautiful life, and I'm so grateful to have a little bit of a glimpse into it. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, you guys. And last but not least, we have Kristen, who is the lovely daughter of Lisa and the mother of those beautiful children that we just spoke to. I understand from Lisa that you do a majority of the caregiving. Is that correct,
Yes.
And so give us a little bit of a bird's eye view into your day.
It could be changing clothes 3 or 4 times a day, depending. Some days are better than others. Doctor's visits, simple stuff sometimes, even going to lunch, getting ice cream, everyday life. Sometimes they have company over, so it's like, okay, you're having company over and things get sidetracked. She goes one way, he goes another, and company's like, okay. It's like, no, we need to stop and regroup and pull things back together. But it's busy.
I heard you were the fastest wheelchair putter in the car person.
I can get them in the car in about 3 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell me, how does it make you feel exposing your children to this life of loving and giving?
It's different for me because I know her when she wasn't sick. Now that she's sick, it hurts sometimes, but you have to be able to laugh, because if not, it's hard. Because my kids didn't have the opportunity that I had growing up, seeing her normal, going to church, playing the piano, going to lunch, running around, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, go to the dry cleaners, busy, 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 and then, like when she has her meltdowns, or she's just not having a good day, or she'll snap for no reason, or just get, feisty, and it's like, she doesn't mean to, she doesn't understand that it's not the thing to do. So it's a little bit difficult, but other than that, I mean, you just get her sidetracked, get her to play the piano like she can do for hours. The same song, some days, 20, 30 times. It sounds like a CD that's stuck some days, but it works, keeps her happy. We call it her theme song.
It's a very difficult disease, and it's hard to watch people that you love go through it.
It is hard. So you just got to make the best of it. You just got to laugh through the craziness. Laugh, good or bad. You just got to kind of roll with it. If not, it's going to make you nuts. It's going to make you feel like one of them.
How do you feel about having your children exposed to this way of life, and it's a giving and loving life?
It teaches them patience. It teaches them that not everything is going to be perfect. I'm going to get crazy. Things are going to get crazy. Things are going to be good. Things are going to be bad. But they need to learn that, people with disabilities, which Alzheimer's is a disability that can't be controlled necessarily. Medication can only do so much, but you just got to do it. You go with it. Hi, buddy.
Hey. Well, she is an exceptional taxi driver, too.
An exceptional taxi driver.
Because we have...
Why don't you take this?
We have medical needs, dentists and other different things, financial information. I need talking to a broker or something like that. And no matter where in the whole Los Angeles area, she knows how to get there. And that's very helpful. Because we don't know, I can't drive, neither can my wife now, nor do I want to, because I got bad eyes, and it's so different when I lived here the first time. I could just go down the road 50 miles an hour and nobody even honked, because that's what I did in Albuquerque.
Right.
But she's been a tremendous help in many ways to us, and we appreciate her.
Thank you so much for sharing. I believe that it's somebody's birthday right now.
It is. It's Mother's
Okay, let's go say happy birthday to her.
Executive secretary, CRW for many, many years, 20 years. Wow. She had a wonderful career. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Put it up there. Put up, burpee. Okay, do it on it. It's fine. Yeah. All right, get over here. Okay. Go by your lights. Are we ready? Go by the lights. Rhoda, could you turn off those lights? Hit those lights. Okay, are we ready? Yes, we are. Right in front of me. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosemary. Happy birthday to you. Blow your candles, man. We've got nice
let's see you do it. Ready? Blow. 1, 2, 3. Go. Together. All over. Get along.